Hello and welcome back to the mini-sode of the Book Marketing Tips and Author Success Podcast. This is, okay, so I know Amy's term is she feels strongly about certain things. I feel very strongly about website stores. And let me kind of explain what I mean by that. So whenever if I look at an author's website, or if I'm doing a website evaluation, I always take a look to see how their book is presented to the reader. And a lot of times they have their book page up and then they have 15 different stores listed where you can get the book. Mm-hmm. I want to hate it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to beat my head against the wall. Now, in some cases, the publisher, if you were with a traditional publisher, the publisher may insist on listing all of the stores. But honestly, it's very confusing. It's a little bit like walking down a toothpaste aisle where you have 45 different kinds of toothpaste, and it's very like, I just want to brush my teeth. Like, I don't need all of these options. So having lots and lots of options for buying a book, intuitively, right? You think, well, I'm just giving my reader lots of options so they can't say no. I promise you they will say no, because a confused mind doesn't make a choice, right? So instead of having Kobo and iBooks and Target and Walmart and all of this other stuff, just put Amazon. And, I'm going to preface this by saying that we don't get a kickback for mentioning Amazon. We're not affiliated with Amazon, but that's where the majority of books are sold. If you have a huge problem with Amazon, if you hate Amazon, whatever, then put it up, send them to iBooks, send them to Apple, right? Even though, when was the last time that you bought a book off of the iBook store? But whatever.
That's funny. And for what it's worth, Penny and I are both Apple Mac people. So it's not like, you know what I mean? We're the non-converted that can't understand why people use iBooks.
Yeah. I mean, Amy, when was the last time that you bought a book off of the iBook store?
I never have. Honestly, my Mac computer has to re-download the app every time an author shares a file that has to be opened.
I know. I would love to see. It's interesting that Apple never releases statistics on how many people buy, shop on their iBook store.
Right. And Cindy, I will say, if you don't mind for a second, just when you mentioned all the different options, and then maybe you are required to do something with it because of the mass, distribution of the book or whatever. Mm-hmm. I saw on a website recently, and I thought it was so brilliant. And I'm sure this person has a website, designer that could make this happen for them. Although some of you listening may be super tech savvy, but they used the most popular buttons. Like, I think they had Amazon, of course, but then they had a little click through that said other retail options.
Oh,
isn't that brilliant? And then if somebody really wanted to see what was available, then the list opened up and expanded, but it didn't make your page look so junky, And I just thought it was a brilliant way to make everything available without sacrificing the overall aesthetic of your website,
That's so smart.
I thought it was really smart. I was like, well, this person is thinking ahead.
Yeah, that is so, so smart. I love that. So I thank you so much for listening to this episode. I hope that, make some small changes to your website. It can change potentially how well you're selling books off of your website if you're focused there. But website stores, keep it really simple. Keep it to Amazon. And as Amy mentioned, put a link to the other stores on a different page and send people over there. And that kind of appeases anybody that might, if your publisher says, oh, you have to have these all listed on your Amazon book page. Thank you so much for tuning in. I want to remind you that we love reviews wherever you listen to your podcast. We love reviews, and we love show ideas. So send those our way. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.